Hello, everybody. Welcome to Shadow Valley. I'm Brennan.
I am Gabe,
And
or I
to-
guess this is Gabe. I don't know.
Close
Whatever you
enough.
guys want to, however you guys want to interpret that.
Yeah, so today we actually have a really interesting topic that we're going to be talking about. And to introduce the topic, I want to start off by just telling a story. So imagine this. Imagine you're taking a nap. It's about noon, and you hear a knock at the door.
Dude, you take naps at noons? At noon?
I wish. I'm at work, bro. I do it
that's
10 to
crazy.
7.
Frick. Can you imagine taking a nap at noon? That'd be sick, though.
I guess you're like retired at that point, or you're a soccer mom,
Or an Addy mom.
basically.
Anyway. So,
Anyway,
I'm at my house taking a nap
Yeah.
at noon.
um,
Knock on the door.
yeah, you hear somebody knock on the door, or they
Okay.
ring your doorbell, and so you walk over, still a little groggy, and you open the door. And when you open the door, you see these two children that are just there on your porch. And you notice, the first thing you notice when you're looking at these kids is they're dressed kind of weird. It seems like they're wearing more like hand-me-down clothes, but they're really like older hand-me-down clothes. Like
And like what, like older meaning like a year, like 50s old,
More like 50s
1800s old. Okay.
more like
50s.
50s old, like
Okay.
really old, but they look very worn and like hand-me-down.
Okay.
And the second thing you notice is the way like they start talking to you. They speak in this very monotone voice. And the first things that they say is, please let us come in. We need to call our parents. And you sit there and you're like, okay, where's your parents? And then you just get another reply. Please let us come in. We need to call our parents. No, I'm not going to let you in is what you say. No, please let us in. We need to call our parents. Please let us in. We need to call our parents. And every single time you say no, they're going to get more and more insistent.
Just more aggressive and more aggressive.
Exactly. They're going to be more and more aggressive, and they're going to try and get you to let them into your house. Well, during this, the second thing you begin to notice is their eyes. They don't have regular eyes. They're pure black, as if the pupil has taken over the entire eye. And so you have these black-eyed children demanding to get into your house on the step of your door. And to make things worse, you're paralyzed. You don't feel like you can move. You have this intense fear running through you, and you can't do anything about it. It's not until like minutes later that you're finally able to move. Like I don't even know, like minutes as in more like 5-10.
And during these 5-10 minutes, whatever it is, are these kids just still like going ape?
Yeah, they're just sitting there and they're getting more and more like insistent, and to the point till they're like, let us in, we need to call our parents. Let us in, we need to call our parents. Like it's no longer like, oh, we need to. It's like, you have to do this, like
Yeah.
comply. And you know, out of the stories that I read, nobody let them in except for one person. And I don't have that person's story.
Oh, because they're
Yeah.
doesn't sound good.
No. Only account that I have about that is this individual let the kids in, the neighbors saw, and then the person mysteriously disappeared.
That's not good.
So
That's pretty spooky.
yeah. So
And nobody reported that?
they did. That's how David Weatherly found out.
Oh,
I would
okay.
like to report my source. I read this book called The Black-Eyed Children by David Weatherly. And so I will be using a lot of his material as my source material. So if there's any inaccuracies, go after him and not me.
Yeah, true.
Anyways, so the topic is the Black-Eyed Children, but for short, they're known as the Becks, which stands for Black-Eyed Kids. Every time I hear that, I always think of like Black Eyed Peas.
That's exactly what was going through my head too.
But
Which is funny because Black Eyed Peas, they have black eyes.
yeah,
You know, they kind of look like Black Pete. Yeah, stupid.
yeah. The Becks unfortunately don't bring good music. It sounds like they just like, make you disappear when you let them inside.
So as the report stands, only one person has disappeared to this alleged situation
Yeah. Well, that we know of. I
that
mean,
we know of. Okay.
somebody else could have let him in, and we just don't know. This was the only source that I found.
That
while
somebody
we-
had seen them go into the home and then
Yeah.
the homeowner disappeared.
And this wasn't in David Weatherly's book. This was outside research. But yeah, it was really interesting that it was a neighbor's point of view. They saw their other neighbor letting these kids in because these kids were at first on their doorstep, but
Yeah.
then left. And they watched their neighbor bring the kids inside. And then next thing they knew, the neighbor was just gone. Never came back. House completely empty. Car in the driveway. Just gone. Now,
Maybe they're aliens.
hold up, bro. There's some interesting stuff. There's a lot of different theories about the Becks and who they are.
So yeah. Do you have like a? Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. But
Yeah.
do you have like a basis of where they came from?
We don't know.
We don't know.
We have no idea where they
So
came
we have
from.
minimal information on these fools.
Oh yeah, we know very little except for the pattern that they repeat. And
Pattern.
yeah, the pattern is the same every single time. They're gonna knock on a door. I'm gonna say a door because it gets really interesting on the doors they can knock on.
It's like only brown people.
Nice.
I'm just gonna get a knock tomorrow at my house.
Move to white neighborhood. Just kidding. No.
There's like only virgins or something weird like that.
Well, you'd think so. So Becks have been found to knock on front doors, car doors.
Car doors.
Yeah, car
Interesting.
doors. So you're sitting in your car and they'll
Yeah,
like
yeah.
knock on your window. Like cruise doors.
Like
and
a cruise, like a ship.
yeah, like a ship. And so like your door in a cruise ship.
What?
And they've been known to knock on bedroom doors.
That's freaky.
Yeah. The
Oh,
last
that-
one,
that-
the bedroom
that
doors.
one's freaky.
That's what gets me is the bedroom doors. I was like, oh shoot.
Yeah, that's freaky.
So you could just literally be laying in bed at night, and then all you can hear is,
Yeah.
let us in, let us in, let us in. Sometimes they'll be like, it's me, let us in, it's me, let us in,
Ooh, that's freaky, dude. Ugh.
and just
hate it.
over and over again. And if you open that door then, and invite them in, you're screwed.
You're screwed. You're gonna disappear.
And it's interesting, especially they've been known to knock on hotel rooms. This one guy, he opened his hotel room door for the Becks. He didn't let him in because he wasn't freaking stupid.
Yeah.
But they were there it was the weirdest request that they had. They were just sitting there and they're like, hey, let us come in and watch TV. Let
the
us
heck?
come in and watch TV.
So is it a different request every time?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's, it sounds like they're just trying to do anything they can just to
get
get in.
Dude, maybe they're vampires.
That's actually one of the things that people have speculated is that they're vampires because they can't just enter your
Yeah,
house.
yeah. You have to
Well,
let them in.
I take that back because they can show up at your bedroom door, but like maybe they just can't occupy the same room as you.
Yeah, without being like explicitly said, like, hey, you can come in.
Yeah.
You know, or like freaking a demon or whatever. Isn't that the same thing with demons? You have to like invite them in or whatever.
I think so. Yeah.
Very interesting.
It is really interesting, I think, for sure.
Yeah, it seems weird. Why would they be like so limited on the doors they can knock on? That seems so weird to me.
Like,
Why
you
is it
want him to
doors?
like knock on your cellar door? Like, what do you
Dude,
mean?
it just seems weird to me. Like
Why they're only allowed to knock on doors?
Yeah, or like why can't they just like come up to you as a person or like go knock on your window or whatever, you know?
I bet you they've knocked on windows before too. They've probably knocked on everything because they've knocked on car windows too.
Oh, so the list that you gave me they're not limited to just those. Those are just a couple instances.
Yeah, those are
Okay.
those are some that are listed. They were just examples, so I guess
Okay.
I should like specify. Like the Becks could literally
knock
show up like
anywhere.
anywhere.
Okay.
But
yeah, that makes more sense.
yeah, as long as they're not occupying the same room as you, they can like knock on the outside door.
Mm.
Because I don't think they can occupy the same space as you.
Okay.
Because nowhere in any of like the reports that I found has a Beck like just magically appeared right next to you in like your room. Like you're not just chilling on your couch and then you get like 5 kids showing up in your living room. I'm not gonna. Sometimes it's common for them to come in like groups of 2 or 3, but sometimes they have come in like groups of 5 or 6. They
Dang.
might have came in like more time, like groups of more numbers.
Right.
I just didn't get any of those reports. You know, one of the police officers talked about how these 2 kids just were knocking on his car window, and how it made him feel really unsettled. And he wanted to specify in his story that he's been a cop for at least 15 plus years, and not much like scares him. He's 6'4", kind of
Dang.
fairly built guy, little bit old just because 15 years on the force.
Yeah. Well, what do
But-
you think? Why wouldn't he? Was he just spooked by the kids then? Because it seems weird that a police officer wouldn't have. You just immediately open like the window
Right.
for even just kids. I could understand like an adult, but I guess kids can still be pretty hostile as well. So.
Yeah. The Becks just something about them. They bring this feeling of just like,
Like unsettling.
yeah, very unsettling. They make you extremely nervous. Something I didn't mention before is that they stink. They stink AF. Like, if you ever want to throw up, a lot of people say after like being around a Beck and having those encounters, like it'll leave the air smelling so bad that they have to go throw up.
What?
Yeah. Which a lot of people point to, you know, how demons like smell like sulfur and they
Yeah.
leave kind of a soul.
Yeah.
Some people kind of use that as like an evidence, like, okay, the Becks
Are demons.
Are demons, yeah. And there's a couple different theories. It's really interesting to kind of like go into them. Like, okay, one of the first theories, and you kind of mentioned it earlier, is that they're aliens.
Right.
Um,
Yeah, because if people just like disappearing, you know,
yeah.
I could definitely see like some sort of alien or, oh, you know what? Okay, so I think the reason that alien came up to into my head initially was because we spoke about it in our Bigfoot episode. That they, I think we had mentioned it, but it's almost like they can't create like an accurate looking humanoid.
Right.
Very interesting. And then
And-
their eyes are just like big black orbs almost.
See, you're already on like the track of like this whole theory because that's the thing with the Becks. They can't seem to fit in. They have really pale skin. They've been known to put like cover their skin in like makeup. I mean, they haven't done anything about their eyes, which, you know, probably should if you're trying not to scare people. But it's this whole idea that they're these aliens, kind of like a different version of the Men in Black, because people know the Men in Black from the movie. But another thing of the Men in Black is these alien creatures who try and like fit in and pretend to be like human-like,
Yeah.
but they can't.
Right.
And so with the Becks, it's kind of the same thing. It's where they try to act like normal kids. They try to dress like normal kids. They try and hide some of their abnormalities, but they just can't do it. And the way they talk has been known to be very formal as well.
Interesting.
And it's just language that a kid just wouldn't use.
Right. So that kind of almost like, sorry, that kind of leaves me to think, because they have that like the older clothes, like you said, like the 50s clothes or whatever.
Yeah.
I wonder if because you know, like people back in the day, I feel like spoke a lot more formal than we do now, obviously.
Right.
So maybe they've been here for that long, just kind of like abducting people.
I could see that.
You know?
Yeah. That'd be, I don't know. It could be interesting. Like, I don't know. It's all kind of weird because who knows what happened to that guy's neighbor?
Right.
Like he just disappeared. Either that or this guy's lying. Which,
Or it was well, I guess. So did the police like check the one that disappeared? Did they check his like house and stuff?
I'll say supposedly they did a wellness check because, again, I'm going to put an asterisk on this entire story in this account because, again, it's third person and then
Right.
I'm also retelling the story. And at the end, that's what it is just like a story somebody's telling. There's no actual evidences. Nobody gave me a police report. But that's per the story. They found out he was gone because of a wellness check that the police went and did, and then just gone. And everybody thought that was weird because cars in the driveway. Nobody saw him leave his house, and he was just gone.
Yeah, that's weird. I wonder, because I'm starting to think like, I don't know. I think something that probably intrigues me more is like the idea they might be like vampires or something, you know?
Yeah, that's a lot more interesting for sure.
Yeah, because it's like, what if, I don't know, just kind of the what I know about them right now, as of now, it seems like maybe they've been here for a long time.
Yeah.
Because of like their almost like not old English, whatever you want to call it, but just formal English.
Right.
That many people nowadays just don't carry. You know, somebody, let's just say if you went back in time to the 1800s or something like that, you know, you'd pull somebody from then and then they would sound very different to us.
Right.
You know? So I'm wondering if like they are vampires and they've just been roaming the earth for so long because they like need to like eat people or like suck on people's blood, you know, to like, and so they send out these little kids or whatever we want to call them, like the Becks. But these Becks are just like adults.
Yeah.
Not actually kids, you know, they're just kind of morph themselves. Cause you know, like people say vampires can like shapeshift and stuff.
Oh yeah. I get what you mean.
Yeah. So they like shapeshift into a child or whatever, just to convince these like stupid, freaking humans that like, you know, to let them into their house, and then they just end up killing them and eating their body or whatever. I don't know if that's like a vampire thing, but
I hate to go like on the same note as last time, but like vampires, since they can shapeshift and if they can shapeshift into children, they should like partner up with Chris Hansen on To Catch a Predator.
And just be a kid and then lure him in.
Basically, Dateline NBC.
This is how we're going to get Bigfoot.
Oh, yeah, shoot.
Yeah, there it is.
Use them to catch pedophile Bigfoot.
Yep,
that's what it is. Boom. But
why haven't any of these shows thought of that?
I have no idea.
Just get the Becks.
Basically, get some vampires or get some Becks, use them to lure in some pedophiles and, you know, catch them on TV because that's what you want is TV. And then have the other vampires dressed as like cops, like as a fake, and Chris Hansen can just let him go to town on him. Because, I mean, he's a pedophile.
Yeah. Hey, we don't know that. We don't know if Bigfoot is a pedophile.
Yeah, but we know the other predators on Catch a Predator are pedophiles.
Yeah, true.
He literally just goes, have a seat.
Have a seat. Who are you coming to meet here today?
I don't know. Oh my God.
I don't know. Dude, you know what would be the biggest... Oh, wait. Didn't that actually happen? I was going to say, you know what would be the biggest like prank of all time if Chris Hansen turned out to be like a pedophile? But didn't that happen?
No, he's not a pedophile.
Okay.
I don't think.
I thought... I'm probably wrong, but no. I thought I had seen something that like he was like accused or something like that. But I mean, it's just an whatever,
like an accusation.
Like, yeah, an accusation. Yeah, you know, you never know if it's true. So, but
yeah,
anyway, that would be a good one, dude. Can you imagine?
Oh yeah, that'd be way good. I do know, like he used to be on Dateline NBC, but then they ended that segment, and he's been doing Inside Edition. But I don't know how well that's been going.
With like the same idea to catch a predator.
Doing catch a
interesting.
Sometimes,
dude,
like,
I love that show.
In the past, like I'd pull it up on YouTube and I'd watch some good Predator episodes.
Yeah.
Be like, ooh, they got him 300 pounds.
Yeah. Do you remember that one? There was a guy that he was like a pizza delivery or something like that, or he came in with pizza.
Oh yeah,
he was like super smug. He just like didn't care about what was going on, and then he was just sitting there like grubbing on his pizza, and then he like bounced, but then the cops like got him. He went to jail for like 15 years or something like that.
Dang, I didn't know it was 15 years, but good. Like he was a pedophile.
Yeah, don't quote me on that because I don't remember if that's the story. I just remember he was being like super smug with a pizza, and Chris Hansen was just getting super like annoyed.
Yeah.
He's like, dude, this is like a serious situation, bro. Like, you just got caught on freaking live television, dog. Like, come on.
Yeah. Just straight up like, take this seriously.
Yeah.
You're literally about to be arrested.
Yeah. Like, come
You're
on.
about to be revealed to the world as a child predator.
Yeah.
But-
Mooks.
Anyways, I digress again because of pedophiles, I guess. Just because you said shape-shifting. So recommendation, Chris Hansen, if you're out there, find some vampires who can shapeshift and, you could probably double the amount of pedophiles you get.
Yeah,
and
that's true.
you can get them off the street. But you didn't
Off
hear
the
that
street.
from me.
Disappeared. Especially with the Becks.
Exactly.
But yeah, so I wonder if that's kind of to jump back onto Bex, if the like vampire idea or whatever you want to call it, vampire like theory,
Yeah.
if that holds any validity. Do you know? I'm assuming that you've seen things like that when doing your research.
Oh, yeah. There's several different theories about this. Like we talked about the alien theory.
Right.
There's the vampire theory. There's the demon theory. And then there's just the regular like cryptid theory.
Okay. The demon one seems pretty interesting. What's the cryptid theory? Are they trying to tie it into some sort of like skinwalker or something?
Kind of like that, yeah. Kind of just another natural phenomenon. Well, not natural because, it's the paranormal.
Yeah.
But kind of like the same idea as like a Bigfoot or a Jersey Devil or
A chupacabra.
a Chupacabra, yeah.
Very nice.
Just anything of that kind of sort encrypted wise. So it's almost like more of an animal. And what it does is it does a lot of hunting. And so instead of being like a demon, like from quote unquote hell,
Yeah.
where its objective is to kind of capture your soul, or we don't
Whatever
know
a
because
demon wants to do to you.
I wasn't in the room when that guy got like Beckified.
Beckified. That's a good one.
I don't know what else to call it. Like he disappeared. They literally pulled a freaking who's that guy who hung himself in the cell or who didn't?
Oh, supposedly on
Was it
himself.
Harvey
Allegedly.
Weinstein?
No. That's Jeffrey Epstein.
Yeah, Jeffrey Epstein. Yeah, they straight up pulled a Jeffrey Epstein on him.
Just did the big disappear.
Yeah, that's basically what happened to that guy. Just kidding. I have no idea. He just got Beckified and he either got taken to hell like demons would want. They want your soul. And, if I was going to take somebody's soul, I would definitely try and make it so there was no evidence I was there.
Right.
So I don't know. What do you do like with the body as a demon? Do we like they don't eat?
Yeah, but I mean, I would assume that demons or whatever we're talking would
Yeah.
have some sort of like not higher power, but some sort of ability to transport people to hell, quote unquote, again.
Yeah.
I don't know, to bring them to the underworld, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Some sort of like fast track, I guess. Like, I don't know. You know what I kind of think about is like, this is kind of dumb, but when, did you ever watch like, what's that? Percy Jackson and
Yeah. I saw
you know
that.
when they like go to the underworld, how they just like take an elevator or something?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And then they have to take the pearls with them so they can get out of hell.
Yeah. Some
Yeah.
sort of like way to get down to the underworld pretty quick. I'm sure the Becks, or if they are demons, like if they probably have some sort of way, and that would actually make a lot of sense if the neighbor just disappeared,
Yeah.
with no trace or anything like that. Because like you would think that vampires probably would leave a mess
Right.
if they're like eating a body or if they're taking it apart or whatever. But I don't, like I said, I don't know if that's a vampire thing,
Yeah.
or if it's just like, oh, I just drink your blood and that's
Right.
it. I'm not sure. So, but it seems like if it was a demon and they were just trying to leave no trace,
Yeah.
like a UFO or a demon make more sense than like a vampire
Yeah.
in that instance. However,
Yeah.
So
I mean, also going back to the cryptid point too on this is that with the cryptids or the cryptid idea is they're pack hunters. Oh wow, that was a Utah thing to do. Hunters. They're
Hunters.
pack hunters.
they're pack hunters. Let me get my chew.
Oh my gosh. Straight up.
dude.
Yeah. They're just like pack hunters, and they go in and they ambush a victim when they're allowed into a house.
Mhm.
And since they've developed such good hunting skills over time, like they've learned how not to make a mess. Like,
Okay.
and the theory is they begin to they eat every single part. They're able to
They don't let anything
ingest
go to
every
waste.
part. Exactly.
Mm.
And so that part's really interesting because the image that comes to my mind, like when the whole thing is happening, is like, let's say you let them in, you tell them to sit on the couch, you're gonna go to the kitchen to go get some drinks of water. You turn around, and these kids immediately their faces turn into these like morphed, like open big mouth creatures where they just like jump on your back and just start tearing you apart, and they like have these claws and
You know, that kind of like what you're describing almost reminds me of. Do you remember what was that movie called? I know I keep referencing movies, but it's like the only way I can like visualize something. You know, not
Yeah.
the only way, but just the way you're describing it reminds me of The Quiet Place.
oh yeah, I know what
Like
you're talking
those
about.
like almost like weird opening mouths. That, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
That's exactly what I'm like envisioning as you say that. But obviously they're not that large because they're still technically like children.
Yeah.
Or the size of children. Probably not children.
Right. Well, hopefully not.
Hopefully not. So, that's the other thing I was going to ask. I guess, I don't know if we call demons like possessed, but could it be some sort of like demonic something, like some sort of like possession over these children? You know?
It could be.
What, has that been discussed at all within like theories at all?
Not that I've seen. I haven't seen anybody talking about like children being like, I don't know. They would have, if we were to do that, then they would have to be like missing children. They wouldn't be able to just like go back. So I can definitely see that.
Well,
like,
I mean, it's not like we have, unfortunately, there's no real shortage of like missing children,
yeah, more and more go missing like every day.
which is horrible. Yeah, we don't want to get this on a depressed route.
Right.
We all know it's a very bad situation.
That
But
actually reminds me because a lot of people, have you seen, what's that movie? Is it The Sound of Freedom?
I have actually. Well, I haven't seen it yet, but I want to go see it. But
Yeah.
everybody's saying that it's shedding a lot of light on that, which is good. It's really good, but
Yeah.
it's also sad that it's gotten to this point that people have to like make movies about it for people to notice it,
Yeah.
It's sad. I don't know. Very, very upsetting, but hopefully the right people are put in places where we can hopefully start to mitigate that and prevent it.
Hopefully. We'll see what happens. Hopefully the Becks aren't in charge though.
That would be bad.
That would be very bad. So I guess going on to with the Becks, it is, I don't know, I found something interesting going back to the demon theory is really the fact that there's that disgusting smell that they bring with them.
Right.
It smells like rotten eggs and garbage and just like hot garbage because
Hot
there's a
garbage.
difference between like regular garbage and then like hot steamy garbage.
Right.
And so it smells like a mixture of both of those. And I feel like that adds a little bit more of a push to like, what if these are demons? Like
Right.
they could be. Personally, I don't know. I don't have any experiences with demons, although I've been accused of having that one experience that I shared before when I was in the Orem house alone, where
Right.
I was being bothered by something, or maybe it just was nothing.
Right.
But it was the one where I was telling where like
Where
I'd
you're like
sleep,
all your lights turned off and stuff.
Yeah.
And you had to I remember that.
and then like I woke up because I had deep like scratches on my back where it like soaked
That,
my
made
blood.
you bleed. Yeah.
Yeah.
People said that was a demon.
Yeah, because I mean, why else would the house lights go off? Why would I have like terrible nightmares, and why would I have like a claw mark of 3 down my back making me bleed?
Dude, I thought that was the homeless man that came and gave you a massage.
Oh, it was. That's what it was the homeless man, but there's those who argue like, no, Brennan, like that was a demon thing.
Oh, it was
Like,
definitely a homeless man. Come on now.
Oh yeah. Shoot, I propped the door right open. Just kidding.
Yeah, he saw his way in. He's like, all right, I'm in.
He just came in through the window.
Yeah.
It was a Beck, actually, guys. That's what it was. It was a Beck. They knocked on my window. I slept walk and opened it for him and said, "Come on in, children."
Oh, yeah. So, well, and that's the other thing that might disprove that I had thought about that might disprove like the vampire theory
Yeah.
is that I guess, and this is obviously all speculation because we don't know if vampires are real. So we'd like to
Yeah.
believe, we'd like to assume whatever, and if we assume of what we all know to be vampires would be that they can't be like out in daylight or whatever.
Right.
So I guess that would almost fight against that theory that if the Becks are vampires, they wouldn't
Yeah.
be able to be knocking at your door anytime during the day.
That's fair.
Right. And so I don't know, but mind you, this is all speculation, right? So
Shoot, I can't even tell you if the Becks are real or not.
right. And that's the
Like,
thing.
that's the problem. I don't know if the Becks are real. If I ever met a Beck
Mhm.
and like they ever showed up on my door, I will tell you guys. Like I will fire up like an episode, or I will like go on Larry King or CNN. Just
Dude,
kidding.
what if you
Nobody would
disappear,
watch
though?
me on CNN. Oh, I just disappeared.
Yeah. Well, if you disappear, I'll just say shit, what would I say? Just be like,
Okay. There's three reasons if I ever disappeared. Okay.
because of the anthrax video. That's
A,
the first one.
it was because of the FBI. B, Dick Cheney. And now C, the
Becks.
Becks.
Dude, the longer we do the podcast, the more we're gonna have that list just keeps expanding as we go further and further.
You're not wrong. The freaking oh my! I'm never gonna let Dick Cheney down. Just like a side note, like I sent you that article where it said, you know, Dick Cheney still has not
yeah.
apologized for shooting that man in the face.
That's so messed up.
Hold up. That is a super villain right there. That's all the evidence I need to show, like, no, this is a bad man.
Dude,
I'm not
he's
just
a
throwing
menace.
shade on some other guy.
He's a menace. He's a menace to society. That's all he is. He's freaking alleged menace.
He's the penguin.
He's
an alleged penguin.
Come on now. I
Dude.
don't want to get killed.
I can confirm though that he did shoot somebody in the face and
Yeah, that's-
has not apologized. Don't think he ever will. He seems like one of those old people who are just like stubborn bastards who are like,
Even
you
if they
ain't
know
gonna get
they're
me
wrong.
to do
Yeah.
anything. Yeah.
I hate that so much.
Oh my gosh, especially when I like worked in retail.
Mm-hmm.
No, you're wrong. No, I'm pretty sure I'm right. No, the computer's wrong. No, it's
It's
not.
user error. Come on.
Yeah, no, you see right here where it says not this item? Yeah. Well, you're wrong. Give
Was
it to me anyway.
Was this when you were at
I was when I was at Shopco.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude. Dang, that was sick. Those are the good old days. Oh yeah.
Yo, but like you know why the Shopco I worked at got like closed down earlier than the other ones, right?
No, I didn't know.
It's because there was this huge sex scandal there.
What?
Yeah.
Wait, are you allowed to speak about this?
I quit before that all happened. Well, before it all came to light.
Oh, really?
I don't know if that's allowed. I mean, what's Shopco gonna do? They're out of business now. The
Are
only
they?
thing left is Shopco Optical.
Oh.
And that's just like glasses.
Shoot, dude. I mean, I
don't
don't want
know.
to sidetrack too much of this
Yeah.
Beck story, but I also am
I
kinda
could
curious.
do. I mean, I guess here's the deal. I could tell you. I could do another like 10-minute story on it some other time. If you really wanted to know, just let us know at shadow.valleypod@thedogenetwork.com. And if you want to hear the story, I could go over this story and do.
Shopco's gonna email you.
Oh my gosh, they're gonna kill me. It'll be like a 10-minute,
They're
maybe
gonna
15
CC.
or however long it takes me to tell the story.
Yeah.
And I'll just post it out there. But anyway, I guess back to the
Go back
Becks.
to the-
Instead of my crazy experience at Shopco, the Becks are, I don't know. They're also known to be able to like disappear, which is interesting. Like they're able to move really fast. People have talked about when they're finally able to like break away from the Becks and like the whole thing when they're done with the whole paralyzing fear part. They're able to at times just look away, look right back, and they're gone, which is really interesting to me just because, you know, how do they do that? And that's where I feel like the demon theory comes into more play. Or, I mean, you could still argue with aliens. I don't know. The whole thing's weird. I can see it going with those two. Not so much with like the cryptid, but I'm gonna throw it out there like, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, and that could also just play more in favor to vampires as well.
Yeah.
Because vampires are also, I mean, if we're talking just off of what we think we know about them, would be that they have like super speed or whatever, like that they can move super fast. So maybe that's also part of like the vampire thing. I don't know. I just have a hard time believing the vampire theory. I'd like to believe it, but it seems a little interesting. Or not interesting. It seems a little like it's starting to lose its ground, you know?
Yeah. You feel like it's kind of more of a stretch to make it happen.
Yeah, like I'm almost wanting to like convince myself that it could be vampires just because I think that'd be so interesting, you know?
Yeah.
Maybe that's what we should cover soon.
Vampires.
That'd be fun to
Shoot,
hit.
there's a list of things we can cover.
And I guess we don't always have to do like any kind of supernatural or whatever like
Oh
that.
yeah.
I think it'd
Throw
be fun
out
to do another like
freaking James Dean and how he died.
something crazier. We can
Yeah.
talk about Jeffrey Epstein or something.
Dude, that would be crazy. That would take forever to break down like Epstein's Island and all that stuff.
That'd be fun.
Loop in some Pizzagate too.
Oh, that was so weird, dude. Those
Yeah.
COVID times were the most absurd, interesting like times I've ever experienced. Mind you, I'm still pretty young,
Yeah.
but that was weird, man. That pizza theory was so crazy. And the Wayfair stuff,
Oh yeah.
that was so crazy. Like people had way too much time on their hands then. Like I'm not trying to disprove anything that people
Right.
have said, you know, mind you, because I didn't really do any research on that either.
Right.
However, I did read like all the memes and like, articles about it, you know.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but let's not get too off topic.
I know. Those are just things like like you were saying, it doesn't have to be like a cryptid or anything like
Right.
that. It could just be something really sus, I guess.
Yeah. So yeah, they can move fast. So let's break them down real quick. So
Okay.
right now they speak very formal.
Right.
They are very stinky, like
Yeah.
sulfury, and they're kind of discolored. So they're super white.
Yeah.
Okay, super white. What color hair? Do you know?
You know what? It actually never specifies. I always just assumed blonde hair, brown hair, maybe a mixture.
I don't know why I'm curious about that. It just came to my mind. So sulfur, stinky. They have all black eyes, and black eyes. Do we mean like the whites of your eyes are black as well?
Yeah, like
Okay.
the entire eye is black.
Well, see, and then that kind of almost just reminds you of like an alien, you know?
Yeah.
The traditional sense of an alien.
Like the grays where they have
Right.
those big black eyes. You know, the standard one where they're
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that, I don't know. So big black eyes, super white, smelly. They speak very formal. They can move fast,
yeah.
and they pretty much berate you until you let them into your home.
Yeah.
And they can just appear places, I'm assuming.
Right.
Okay.
They can
Just like
that's how
appear
they
in
get
your
on the
house.
freaking boat,
And your
appear
boat.
in your house.
That is so weird. In a cruise. Do we have a
Yeah.
story on that? That seems so interesting.
I don't have the exact story, but it went along the lines of this couple. They were on kind of a couple's cruise, and they're going around actually through Mexico and Ensenada and kind of that area.
Mm.
And what ended up happening was there was one night they were laying in bed, and mind me, this is an older couple, and they weren't necessarily like
older, what do you consider older? Like 50s, 60s, 70s?
they were like in their 50s,
Okay.
which I guess technically that isn't super old, but
I mean, that's half your life. That is, most people would consider that starting to get older. So
yeah, I don't know.
I don't know, but maybe not.
Like 45, that doesn't sound too old either.
No, that
And
doesn't
that's
sound
just
old
like
either.
5 away.
Mhm.
I don't know.
Which is so weird. Again, getting off topic. For whatever reason, I feel like when I hear 15 minutes versus like 20 minutes,
Yeah,
for some reason in my head, I just feel like 15 minutes is longer.
yeah, I could
don't
see
know
that.
why.
I have no idea.
I don't know. It just seems weird. Maybe it's because I see in my head like 2-0,
Yeah,
you know, and then 1-5.
It could be that.
I don't know.
It could be.
Just kind of dumb.
I
Anyway,
don't know.
continue. So they're in their late 50s, whatever.
Early 50s, yeah.
Early 50s.
Early 50s.
They're in their bedroom.
Yeah, they're in their bedroom. They just spent like the whole day like on an excursion,
Mm-hmm.
and so they're super tired, and they're just laying in bed. And they get this knock on the door, and they go and they answer the door, and there's these 3 children there. And again, they got the same eerie feeling from them right away.
Mm-hmm.
They noticed they actually weren't dressed for a cruise
Right.
in Mexico. They actually had thick coats on. And they had kind of like winter hats.
Yeah. Winter
And-
hats.
Yeah. Well, kind of like those beanies. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And so they were not dressed at all like they were being on a cruise, but they were dressed, how a normal child would dress in older clothes in the right season, I guess.
Right.
But so it was really weird that they were wearing all of this and it wasn't like the right time at all.
Mm-hmm.
But they saw the kids, they felt super unnerved by them. And then the kids started like berating them. They're like, "We're hungry. We want to watch TV. We're hungry. We want to watch TV. Please let us in. We're hungry. Let us watch TV." And they did that over and over again, getting more and more intense. And the lady went on to describe how she's she's kind of like a motherly person. She always wants to help people. Like
Yeah.
whenever there's kids out, she wants to take care of them. All of that instinct disappeared
Just
when these
gone.
kids. She
Oof.
absolutely wanted nothing to do with these kids. She wanted to shut the door and leave them. And when she saw they had black eyes, she actually screamed.
Really?
Yeah, she screamed, which actually is what made her husband come over to the door because he was kind of laying on the bed still. And when he
Classic.
came over and saw the Becks, like he immediately froze for like 5 minutes, and they both just kind of stared at these kids as they were going like louder and louder and more intense. And he saw the black eyes and noticed him right away.
Yeah.
It wasn't till like 5 minutes later until he was able to get up. He was able to move his wife out of the way, and he slammed the door shut.
Wow.
And, after slamming the door, they both took a few minutes to kind of compose themselves.
yeah.
And the wife actually went and she threw up because they stunk so bad and she was just so overwhelmed. And so she did that. And then he went and looked out the door, like the peephole again of the door, and saw that they were gone. There was no black-eyed children there.
Yeah.
And he was actually so concerned, and this is like old people thing that they would do, is they knocked on the neighbor's door and asked if they saw anything, and
Yeah.
went around like 4 doors.
Just asking people like, "Hey,
Yeah.
did you witness anything? Did you hear anything? Like,
Yeah.
did anybody hear his wife scream?"
Yeah, people said they heard his wife scream. I mean,
Yeah.
I guess it's like a normal thing on a cruise ship because nobody did anything.
Yeah, that seems weird.
But-
If I heard somebody scream, I'd probably be like, "What the hell was that?" Like, I
Yeah.
gotta check that out.
I'd be like, "Oh, yikes! I'm staying in bed." Oof.
Oof.
Glad that's not me.
Yeah. Hopefully they're okay.
Yikes.
Yeah. Good night.
Something like that. But yeah, that was kind of the main thing. They got nobody else saw him. The Becks never bothered anybody else there. And
Interesting. It
at-
was just them.
yeah, especially with the Becks being so loud, you think other people would hear him.
Yeah,
Nobody
how-
else.
Wait, they're loud. Oh yeah, because they start like
Yeah.
berating people.
Please let us in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if they get that intense.
So I wonder if they're picking their like, what are they called? What would you want to call that?
Like their victims?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder if they have some sort of like agenda. You know what I'm saying? Like if they have like a general like victim that they usually choose.
Yeah, kind of like a type that they go for.
Right.
Kind of like how a lot of predators go for like the deer and the rabbits instead
Yeah,
of
just more like the weak.
yeah.
Yeah.
And
That's
I
interesting.
could see that maybe trying to go after the more sympathetic people because they're the ones who are more likely to let you in.
Right. Huh. Yeah, they should come to Utah. People would let them in all the time.
Bro,
I'm sure.
It's the missionaries.
Oh dang! I didn't think about that. I wonder. So the other thing too that I wanted to mention was, oh dang it! Now I just forgot it. Oh crap! What was it? I
I
feel
hate
like
when
this
that
always
happens.
happens to me. Oh
Oh.
my goodness. Oh come on! This happened to me last episode too. I was like talking about something, and then I started talking about something else, and then I hopped back in, and I was like, oh crap! I can't remember what I was even saying anymore.
Yeah, I feel
Um,
that. I get that way sometimes.
shoot.
We were talking about like victim type and going
Yeah,
off a
victim
little bit
type.
like that and how they were looking for like the more vulnerable maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Dang, if I remember, I'll mention it again. I'll try, but I don't know. Sometimes
Okay.
things just like leave, and you can't remember anything.
oh, that happens to me all the time.
Yeah, I hate it.
I'll stare at my computer for 5 minutes like I opened this file for a reason. Why?
Yeah.
And then I'll close it, do something else, and 5 minutes later, oh yeah, that's what I
Dude,
did with it.
Yeah, sometimes like what helps is like retracing my steps, so I
Yeah.
can kind of like think about the same exact thing that came to my head while I was doing that thing, if that
Yeah.
kind of makes sense. But yeah, dang, I don't remember what I was gonna mention. That kind of sucks.
Yeah, I don't know. I couldn't tell you. I guess there is another story I have of the Becks. Like this one comes from somebody in their bedroom.
Okay, let's hear it. That one's spooky, man. I don't know what I would do if I heard a knock. Like even in
Well, he lived alone too, which made it worse.
yeah, that's spooky, man. Like I close my door when I go to bed,
Yeah.
and if I heard a knock on my door, if I knew nobody else is in the house, I would probably grab my gun. I'd be terrified at that point. I'd be like,
As
what
you
is
would,
going
like-
on? Yeah.
If you wouldn't, I would be very concerned. Like if you wouldn't
I just walk over. It's like, oh, yeah,
Just-
hello.
just casually open the door from, oh yeah, come on bed, let's sleep together. Like, I'm
Do you-
tired too.
Do you think that maybe the Becks knock at a bedroom door like that probably at night because they're hoping to catch people like a little dazed?
You know, I
to
could
where they're,
definitely
like,
see
They're
that.
just like, oh man, I'm tired, but a door just knocked. You're just almost an autopilot.
Right. I could
Interesting.
see that too because, there's stories about people who are just sleeping and then they get a knock on their front door.
Yeah.
Which, I get that when sometimes. Like if I get a knock on my front door and it wakes me up, I'll debate whether or not I'm going to go actually answer it. If
Yeah.
it's like persistent knocking, you've just ruined your chances of me opening the door.
Oh yeah, for sure. If
Like,
anybody
now you've
knocks
just
more than once, I'm like, nope.
Yeah. Now you're trying to sell me something or you're just being annoying at this point.
Yeah, dude. The nice thing with like modern technology is that most all of us have like doorbell cameras and stuff.
Yeah.
So like anytime anybody rings or knocks the door, I just like don't even bother to go. I just look at my camera like, no, I don't want to answer it.
Well, that's the thing too. Like the Becks didn't show up on any Ring doorbells or stuff like that.
Oh, I just remember what I was gonna ask.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's two questions. Has it happened like recently?
Some of the Beck
Yeah.
incidents.
Yeah.
The bedroom door one, I was able to find this one online, and it supposedly happened about like 6 months ago. That's the most
Oh, wow.
recent I got.
Wait, that's actually pretty recent.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So, and how long have they? When did the first like occurrence? When was that stated or reported?
I couldn't tell you in all honesty. I don't remember. I think it would be impossible to track down the first Beck sighting because, I could see them. I mean, again, this is my own personal opinion. I don't think they just showed up one day.
Right.
I'm pretty sure the Becks, they were just there. Like I wouldn't be surprised if during the frontier times, like there was Becks, or if before then there was Becks, because there's been cultures who've all kind of had these demonic entities with the pure black eyes. Like it isn't just unique to the what we see more nowadays, or quote unquote see more, because again, I'm not going to say the Becks are real. I don't have any evidence to prove they're real. I
Right.
heard about him. I haven't seen a Beck. I would
Fingers
love to
crossed I
see a
never
Beck
see a Beck.
actually.
Whoa, shit, dude. I don't want to see no Beck.
I'd like to see a Beck just so I could like know for sure. Like,
But they're
Oh, shoot.
stinky.
oh yeah, that's true. Hose him down first.
Yeah, just hey yo, get in my backyard. I don't care if you knock my door. Just let
Turn
me
the
hose you down.
sprinklers on.
You stink, dog. Can you
Turn the
imagine?
sprinklers on.
Hey, freaking! How about you just like go knock at my bathroom door and hop in the shower? You freaking reek.
I don't know if they could do a reverse knock.
Can you imagine? That'd be so funny. Oh man.
You're just trying to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night and like they knock on the other side of the door. I'd be like, God damn it. I'm trying to take a leak. I'm going to go in the bushes, you assholes.
Can you imagine? Dude, yeah. So what if you're just like, I wonder if you were just completely unfazed. You know, what if somebody not like a Beck knocks and you're like, all right,
GTFO.
get the fuck out of here. Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
care. Like, leave me alone. You know, I wonder what would happen then if they would just like go ape on you or just go crazy. Oh, I just
They
thought
just
of
get
two things now.
rejected like before, probably.
Yeah. Okay. So the other thing was, where do these usually occur? Anywhere? Here, like in the United States, Mexico,
There's
Europe.
been reports worldwide.
Wow.
It's not just a United States thing, which is actually really cool because I know a lot of these things that we talk about are a lot of people are like, well, that's kind of specific to the United States. They are the ones who are, you know, just prone to it. And Americans are just so animated to where they get excited over every little thing. It's not like, I don't know, there's a lot of skepticism, especially because we do have a little bit of, I don't know, extra phenomenon. Like there's a lot of alien reported
Everyone's here is just
activity. Yeah.
delusional.
Yeah, that's kind of like what we're painted as, fat and delusional.
Mm-hmm.
That's what everybody's supposed to be.
Yeah.
McDonald's cheeseburger in one hand, conspiracy theory in the left.
Yeah, that's gonna be Brent and I soon. I just right now we just have these nice little juice pouches.
Oh, yeah.
Pouches. Yeah, we got those in the left hand, conspiracy theories on our right, and we're just
Oh
chilling.
yeah. Nah, dude, I got them in my brain now.
Yeah.
I've listened to so many conspiracy theories.
Just memorize them all.
Basically, yo, like no joke. Some people go off the rails and go super ham about the Becks.
Yeah.
They'll go talking like really fast. I was okay. Looking to be on there. I'm gonna try and do a small imitation. Let's see if I can.
Okay, let's hear it.
No, you guys don't even know. Right now, there could be Becks anywhere. They can show up at your door right now. This is a government conspiracy. The Becks are just like the Men in Black. They have come and are working in conjunction with the government. They are here for not only us, but for our children.
Oh my
the
goodness.
safety and freedom of America is at hand right now. You guys need to act now.
Dude, that sounds like you know. I'm sure most people know what I'm referencing, but it kind of sounds like a GTA online like radio host.
Oh, really?
You know, and you're like, have you ever just listened to the GTA radio?
I haven't.
Dude, it's hilarious. Those guys are crazy.
Shoot.
But they're so funny. They speak so fast, and then some of like they're saying the craziest things.
Yeah.
Is it like that's crazy?
They straight up just like rant and they go crazy. And the words I always hear the most is freedom, America,
Conspiracy.
children, danger.
Danger.
But they
Oh.
all kind of fold. What's
Sorry,
that?
continue.
They all kind of follow the same thing, except for some of them are very kind of typical where not only is it the Beck's fault, but it falls onto another minority group of people, the Jews. There's
you
so
for
many.
real?
There's so many conspiracy theories that blame the Jews for everything, and there are people who blame the Jews for the Becks.
Why?
Beats the hell out of me. Literally beats the fuck out of me.
That's so weird.
I have no idea how they connected those dots.
Yeah, how do they make parallels between those two? That seems so weird.
I have no idea. On the conspiracy theory, I turned these off like right after I heard the Jews come in. Like literally right as it happened, it was just like, and the Becks, blah, 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 blah. Now the Jews. And I'm just like, hold up. There's no correlation there. You literally just was like, blah, blah, blah about the Becks for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And then you just mentioned the Jews.
That is so weird.
It's like, it's very anti-Semitic. A lot of conspiracy theories just like are very anti-Semitic. And
It's
so
so weird, dude. People
Yeah.
are, I don't get that.
I don't know.
So the last thing that I wanted to ask you, I guess, if you knew, so kind of in the same realm of like a skinwalker, right? Where they're so I guess, and like I said again, I might butcher this, and I think I just want to make sure that anybody that knows more about Skinwalker, please forgive me if I just mess this up. But
Yeah.
as far as I remember, the Skinwalker is created by doing like the most horrific thing that you can possibly do.
Right.
So I wonder if the Becks are kind of the same thing. You know, they're always looking for their parents. They're trying to get like some sort of authority or whatever. I wonder if when they were kids or like back in the 1700s or sometime before then, whatever, saying whatever.
Yeah.
But so I guess whatever time that you would like to think they came from or when they came to fruition, I wonder if they like murdered their parents or something or murdered their whole family. And I also wonder if it's like the same Becks going through every
Yeah.
like, country, you know, every instance, if it's the same one or if it's different ones.
That would be interesting, actually. It's just nobody has photographs.
Right.
Nobody can get them. And so there's no way to really compare them because, you know, when people describe them, they all seem like they're the same. But I mean, they're so generic. You can't
Right.
really narrow it down.
Yeah, it's like trying to describe like a bear or something, you know, like a brown bear.
Yeah.
Most brown bears are all going to look relatively similar. The only difference is you're going to say, oh, well, that one is a little bit bigger, that one is smaller, like, you know, stuff like that. But
Yeah.
it's so hard to describe something like that in vivid detail if it's just like you can't really get close to it, you know, because
Right.
bears are pretty dangerous already.
Yeah.
And then if you're getting a photograph, then you just show people the photograph.
Yeah.
So in this instance where it's like the Becks, you can't really get close to them because they're stinky or you
Yeah.
get paralyzed. And if you can't get a photo, then it's going to be very hard to try and tell people like, oh, this is what I saw. This is what
Right.
I saw, you know?
There goes the evidence of the Becks.
Exactly. And then those like, it's the same idea between if you witness a crime, you know, they say that you, like the average person, I might be wrong on this too, but I'm pretty sure it was like the average person will only get like 30% of the details, right?
Oh, really?
If they like witness a crime, because a lot of people aren't like really focused on the details, especially after the crime. When they've witnessed something like that, they start to like kind of fog up and stuff.
Yeah.
And so I wonder if it's the same with the Becks. If when people see them, you kind of start to fog up your memory, and then say you saw
Yeah.
four Becks in front of you, 2 short, 1 super tall, and
Yeah.
1 medium. And then one of the super short ones were super fat or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, that's a very distinct differentiation. However,
Yeah.
once you start telling people, are like, oh, well, I heard about the Becks. I heard there were 4 really small kids.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, maybe were they really small? Maybe they were.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. Where it's interesting to think about because, you know, like humans are so flawed.
Yeah.
And it's hard to really take anything that anybody says with any weight, if you will.
Right.
You know, especially if you don't have evidence.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I guess that's all kind of to say if I wonder if they're not all the same. I wonder if it's several different Becks that are out and about.
I mean,
go ahead.
if they're aliens, then there's definitely probably a ton of them.
Yeah.
I'd imagine. I don't know, but if it is just the same type of Becks going place to place, like
Then what's their purpose then, do you think?
make people disappear. I don't know. I
Yeah, it
couldn't tell
seems-
you.
That's like so. That's almost more frustrating than knowing that they're not. Than knowing if they're real or not. You know.
Oh yeah.
That, like, what is their purpose? Because, like, for instance, with a Wendigo, or a Skinwalker,
Yeah.
you know, they're just there to piss you off. That's like they just want to freaking be a menace. You know.
And they want to kill you.
yeah, and they want to kill
Yeah.
you. You know.
Well, the Wendigo, like its whole thing is it's always hungry. Like
Right.
it was a person who ended up having to do cannibalism during an
Mhm.
extreme time, and they ended up turning into this demonic thing, and it's
Mhm.
always hungry and it's always cold, and so it'll want to like
Right.
eat people.
but at least it has a purpose, right? And not
Yeah.
at least, but it has a purpose.
Yeah, it has like a purpose. It has a goal. It knows what it
Mhm.
wants.
Right.
Versus like
The
the
Becks.
the best we can do is they want inside your house.
Yeah, why? That's so weird. And then to be let inside, it almost like it almost plays more so into the idea of a demon.
Yeah.
If I'm right on like that demons can't be let into your home without being specifically invited in, you know?
Right.
If that is correct, then maybe they're just there to like freaking take you down to the underworld.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Drag you down to hell.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't know what you would have had to have done in order for the Becks to like show up on your door.
Yeah, I wonder. That's such a interesting like notion. That's what I'm saying. It's almost more frustrating to know or to hear these stories and not know what they're about.
Right.
Like not know what their purpose is. It's annoying.
It is really annoying, and like with the whole vampire thing and people not being able to move, and they're that's hypnotism. They're
that's true.
hypnotized. They're stunned. There's not much they can do. They're just kind of like held there in place.
Yeah. But at that point, why would they stun them? Why would they hypnotize them to move or to be paralyzed if they're not going to make a move to get into your home,
Maybe if like they got you caught and they're trying to persist even longer, that they're going to help convince you more,
maybe it's maybe if I just let these fools in, I'll stop being paralyzed and this will end.
Yeah. Or it's like trying to plant that that thought in them, like, please let us
Like
in,
Inception.
please let us in, let us in.
Yeah.
And so it's like, let us in,
Yeah.
trying to convince you to let them in since they're repeating it. You're stuck there. But that's just kind of, again, with the whole like vampire things like we discussed already. I don't know. That's kind of like the main thing with the Becks. There's not too much, and that's what's most frustrating about him, and that's why you only have so much you can talk about him, is because we just don't know. I mean, if you really want to know a lot more about the Becks, I recommend reading like the Black Eyed Children by David Weatherly, because he has a bunch of stuff, but from like what I read through or in what I researched online, there wasn't a ton of information on the Becks. There's definitely a lot of stories, but there's not really a ton of information. And I feel like I should tell you, at least before like the end, I want to share that story about the guy in the bedroom.
Oh yeah, sorry. We totally sidetracked off that. Sorry.
No, it's okay. It's like the cliffhanger at the end. Just kidding.
Yeah, we just don't ever come back to it. You just say, okay, I'm going to start the story and then end the podcast.
Basically. Dang. So, just to go through the story. Our person is a 25-year-old white male. And there was one night, it was a Saturday night. He had just gotten home from being out with some friends, and he went into his house, showered, threw on some underwear, and jumped right into bed. And what ended up happening is around 3 a.m. after, around 3 a.m, he heard some knocking at the door. At first, when he woke up, he thought it was his dog. He thought his dog was scratching at the door and wanting to get in. But then he realized the dog was on like the foot of his bed, and the dog was actually standing right up and just staring at the door.
Nope.
Like a literal attention, just like nose pointing. And the knocking continues, and it keeps going, and the dog just is not even barking, just pointing right at the door and staring there.
Dude, that's one thing that I like. I personally think that animals and stuff have a better connection to that kind of like world than us. Because like my dog, for instance, she'll get up and just like stare at something, and I'm like, hell no.
Yeah.
I'm not going over there.
Right?
That's just spooky, especially like when a dog does it, because like their senses are a little bit higher than us, like, or better than ours. And so when a dog is like noticing something weird, it's like, that's a little unsettling.
I'm going to pass on that one.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, continue. So dog's staring at the wall or at the door.
At the door, not even barking, just rigid, like terrified type of rigid, where it's just so tense. And it's literally straight just pointing at the door. I don't know, like with its nose.
Yeah, like almost like a hunting dog.
Yeah.
That like points at like a bird or something.
Right. And so our guy who's in bed, he starts to get up out of bed, and that's when he hears it. He hears the voices. Hello, it's me. Let me in. Hello, it's me. Let me in. And he stops dead in his track because he has no idea how somebody got into his house, who this person is, what they want. And he's just paralyzed there, and he can't decide what he's going to do. He doesn't call out to them. He just stops. and he doesn't move, and he tries to be as quiet as he can, and it just keeps persisting. Hello, it's me. Let me in. Hello, it's me. Let me in. Hello, it's me. Let me in. And the door starts shaking and rattling, and the intensity of this entity or Beck trying to demand that you let it in is just getting more and more intense. And you know what this guy ended up doing is he got right behind his bed, on the side. He got on the side of his bed that was furthest from the door. He crouched down and he was just there, and he was hiding. He grabbed like a baseball bat. He didn't own a gun at the time.
Yeah.
And so he was just there clutching a bat, just waiting for this Beck to get in. And, you know, after it was a half hour that this kept going on, and the Beck was ending the whole thing, just screaming to let it in. And this guy's just terrified, not making any noise at all. And then they hear this last Beck just, let me in. And then nothing. Door stops shaking, nothing.
What does the dog do?
Curls right back up.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, that is so spooky, dude. Oh my goodness. And did he get up and like go look?
Not till the next morning.
Wow.
And when he did, he said it stunk. Like his door stunk and his doorknob stunk. He had to like bleach it.
Wow.
Yeah. So that was the story about the guy who got becked in his bedroom.
That is so spooky, dude. Holy smokes.
I mean,
that's like so unsettling. I hate that so much.
So the question I guess I have then is it safer to not be becked if you have your door open than it is to be closed? Because closed doors, we've known they've shown up. Whereas like open doors, like where's
They
the
can't
becks?
knock. Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe it's a thing to maybe reconsider having your door closed at night. Just kidding. I sleep with my door closed.
Close my door. I don't give a shit.
Don't care about the becks.
Hell no. I'm not gonna close. I'm not gonna keep my door open, dude. Heck no.
There's too many other things.
Yeah. No.
A little becks aren't gonna do much.
Yeah, we know. I know burglars are real, so I'm
Yeah.
freaking not gonna keep my doors open.
Yeah.
Nah. Oh, that's so spooky, man. That is like such a that literally could give you like PTSD the rest of your life.
Oh yeah, easy.
That's such a terrifying experience. And how are you even gonna tell people that? How are you gonna tell your family like, hey, I had this insane experience, especially if they're not like, for instance, like religious, you know?
Right.
I think people that are religious are more inclined to believe that type of like situation,
Right.
you know? But anybody that's not really super religious, and mind you, some people that aren't religious do believe in this stuff, and forgive me if I'm totally portraying this wrong, but I think people that are not religious are much less inclined to believe a story like that, you know?
Yeah.
Just because they're not really, like I said, I might be butchering this, but I would assume that people aren't really like looking for that type of explanation, you know?
Yeah.
They'd be looking for more of a practical, like, oh, well, maybe somebody broke into your house and they're trying to like get into your place, you know?
You had a nightmare. I had somebody tell me
or
that
you had a
before where
nightmare,
I was
yeah.
like, this happened. I saw this.
Right.
And they're like, it was a nightmare. And I was like, you know what? You're right. It was a nightmare because we don't talk about things like that. They don't exist.
Yeah. But that's the thing. It's like people are a lot more inclined to the thing is that, especially when something scary like that happens,
Yeah.
you want to coddle yourself and you want to find every reason to make it seem like it was just a nightmare.
Right.
Or something that actually didn't happen, because if it was real, then, well, shoot, where does that put us, you know?
Right.
That's spooky. That's real. If it was real, well, dang, dude, I don't know what I would do at that point. This almost ties back into like the Bigfoot thing, you know?
Right.
If we knew that Bigfoot was real, what would we do then? You know, if we find out somehow we get evidence that the Becks are for real, oh man, dude, I don't know what I would do at that point. That'd be so terrifying, because then every point after that, I think I would just be so like terrified of seeing a Beck or witnessing something happening and then disappearing. You know, people just start disappearing like crazy.
I don't know. I think it'd be interesting, and I still think it'd be so cool to like have a Beck experience.
Mm-hmm.
But you know,
Dude, you're crazy.
they're
bro.
so rare. Well, I crave that knowing part. I crave just wanting it to be true. Like I crave it's again going back to I want to believe, but you got to give me something to believe on. And right now, I don't have that belief. Like, I haven't seen a Beck. I've heard the stories. Stories sound creepy, but you know, anybody can make up a scary story.
Right.
So I would, I just can't say I fall into the Beck category yet. I think
I don't
it was
think I would
interesting.
either. Yeah, I think it is very interesting to hit on these topics, you know?
Yeah.
And yes, like you said, those stories are pretty scary, but I don't know if none of the evidence, and I think I'm more just annoyed that I don't know what their reason is or what's behind these Becks, you know?
Yeah.
That it almost makes me feel like maybe it is just some sort of like idea that somebody thought up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because we don't have that much information. Mind you, though, all the things like in this realm are all speculation, right?
Right.
You know, it's been over time and people come up with ideas, you know, and
Oh, yeah.
and like to add to the story and whatnot. But I don't know. I don't know if I really would subscribe to the Becks just yet. I think I'd want to find out more about them and do my own research to see what I really truly think about them.
Yeah.
But as of right now, yeah, I don't know. I think I'm the same as you. I just don't really.
I'd be so stoked if I had like a Beck experience like tonight. Like I'm just in bed and they're like, hello, it's me. Let me in. I'd be like, first of all, scared shitless. But second of all, I'd be like, bro, they're real.
And then third, you'd be like, yo, you stink.
Kind of, yeah.
Swamp ass mother.
I guess I'm not like necessarily too terrified too because my bedroom door is literally solid wood and it's thick.
Oh, yeah.
And so I'm not necessarily too tired or like too worried about things getting in. And you know, back in Orem, growing up, like I don't know where it came from. There must be some sort of paranoia, but growing up, even with like my mom, we always had like I was just known to lock every single lock on the door regardless. Like on the front door, it would be the glass door that's locked. It would be the main door, both the top and bottom lock.
Right.
On the back door, it would be the screen door. It would be the top lock, the bottom lock, and the chain. I would literally go into the garage and I would lock the garage because you know how they have the bars that you can slide into the holes on the garage to lock it?
To keep it like from opening and stuff.
Yeah, I would lock the garage and then I'd lock the garage door.
Yeah.
And then when I would go downstairs, and every door had to be closed as well.
Right.
Or
'cause
actually, no,
downstairs
it's
there was
not closed.
downstairs there was a door as well, right?
Yeah.
That led into the living room and then led into like the bedrooms and whatnot.
No, because it was open. It was just right down the stairs. But then going straight into my room, like I'd lock my door at night. And so like everything that could get into the house was locked down. There was no getting into it, and it drives actually my grandpa crazy because whenever I walk in, period, just instinct lock the door lock and the top lock. And to get in the top lock, it's a pain. And so with that lock, I end up just locking him out. And it's all just second nature because I've just been so used to doing it.
Right,
I've just been so used to locking every single door.
Yeah, as soon
and
as you
like
close
every
it, you
lock.
lock it.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm like the same way, dude. It's
I
super
have
nice.
no
with that.
idea why.
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird. I think it just is like you're just taught as a kid, you know?
Yeah.
Especially like the older generation. I think even more so now, but I know my parents were always like lock every single door.
It's
you know?
probably living with my grandma Diane.
Oh yeah, yeah.
She's probably the one who like got that in me. Yeah.
But yeah, dude, our house, like all of our doors, as soon
Yeah.
as you close it, it locks automatically. So it's really nice because I don't have to like lock them. But sometimes the only time it gets annoying is like if I have to run like outside to get something for my car.
Yeah.
I close the door and then it locks immediately, and so I have to put in my like code to get back in. So, but yeah, it's besides the fact. But yeah, man, that's I don't know. I don't know if I would ever want to experience a Beck. Props to you, dude, because if you do experience that and you come out freaking unscathed, what's the word that I want to use? Like a
Well, I already have 2 therapists, so I'm covered.
yeah, so you're good. You're chilling, right? Just make sure that you have your phone on you.
Oh yeah, record them. Except for they're
Yeah,
not going to record
Why not?
because nobody's been able to record them.
Hmm.
Maybe I could get their voices. Maybe we'll give it a shot. I'll like Snapchat their voices. I'll post it on my story.
Just set up all your podcast equipment and just okay.
Stand right at the door, bro. That would take forever.
And you just tell them, can you speak up a little bit?
What? I can't hear you.
What? Let me in.
Nah, they'll just get that way on their own.
Yeah.
Shoot. But yeah, I guess that was it. Any
Awesome.
questions about the Becks or?
No, I think right now, like I said, I think the most frustrating thing is that I just don't know what they're about. I
Yeah.
like, and I guess that's kind of like the whole idea behind these kind of these stories and what
Right.
makes them more scary. I think a little more spooky is that you don't know what the reason is. You know,
Exactly.
because, and I stated this before, but as humans, you want to find a reason. You know, you want to make something make sense.
Yeah.
And when you can't make sense of something, it's a little more frustrating, a little more like unsettling, you know? But yeah, I don't know. It's very interesting idea. If I were subscribing to the Becks, I'd probably start leaning toward like an alien theory or like demon theory,
Yeah.
some sort of like supernatural something. I would say, I guess vampires are supernatural too, but I think a lot of the detail or speculation around the Becks and what we've seen would lead me to believe that they are not vampires.
Yeah.
But I guess I don't know. See, I'm trying to like explain things in my I'm trying to like create parallels in my head. I know
it's
we're like
hard.
at the tail end of
Yeah.
this, but like you said, if nobody's caught them on video, I wonder if it's because they are vampires. You know, how,
Right.
like, vampires, you can't see their reflection or whatever.
Yeah.
And be the same thing because the mirror, it's just like a video is just a reflection technically. And so I wonder if, I don't know. See, now I'm trying to convince myself otherwise. So I don't know.
Just go back and forth with it. I mean, that's all
Yeah.
you can do. Like we don't know.
Yeah.
So we just have the theories that we can play with. And so yeah, I guess going with that, if anybody else has any theories or just want to let us know what you think about the Becks, please again email us at shadow.valleypod@thedogenetwork.com. Again, that is shadow.valleypod@thedogenetwork.com. And just before we end, I want to thank everybody for listening, and I appreciate any feedback you guys have given us. Anyways, have a great day.
See you guys.